Hi, I'm Iris.
Hi, I'm Vee. Hello, Internet Universe.
We've both seen the new Star Wars film, and we actually haven't talked about it yet, which is exactly what we're going to do now.
Or we could just eat strip waffles the entire time. Should we start with, did we enjoy it? Iris, did you enjoy it?
I thought it was okay. So, just to make things clear, this is the first real film screening I went to, so 70mm IMAX film, so you hear the rattle of the projector and all that. That was amazing, but the movie itself,
I am very, very, very glad that they decided to make a new film and a new series and to bring in like this new wave of, a new generation into Star Wars basically, because whilst I have been complaining a lot of the time that Star Wars is literally everywhere because Disney and obviously money, it's actually kind of nice. I never actually said I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was really great. I liked it, but it was not perfect. Mm-hmm. And there are many points which we're just about to launch into.
Hopefully, if we don't get distracted again.
If we don't get distracted again. Which is why we both thought the film wasn't so good at times. So, should we start talking about the characters?
I like all the new actors.
I don't. I think that some of this film was well casted. Was it Ray? Is Ray the guy? No, it's Finn. Finn is
the guy.
There's this, like, nautical kind of, like, maritime-y name theme going on here, and I'm still trying to get used to it. So, Finn, I really liked. I thought that the actor was brilliant in the role. I don't know what her name is, Daisy something.
Daisy.
She had, to me, I felt that she was more, because of the way that she was very expressive at times, I felt that she was quite suited to stage acting, and I thought that that's where she came from. I just didn't get on well with Rey's character because I felt that at times they kind of were trying to push this ideal of, okay, look, we've got a really strong female character here. Yeah, it's awesome. She can do this, and she can do this, and she's here, and she's a pilot. While some of the exchanges between her and Han Solo were fun,
absolutely,
it didn't feel. I just thought, well, it is Han Solo's ship, so you're either really, really lucky, in which case I really have to suspend my belief, or they just tried really hard. So whilst I think that she is a good actress, I felt that it might be in the directing of it. The rest of the cast,
I like them.
Yeah, I do too.
I just like them. Yeah,
they were very good.
Although I have to say, you could see with like the old cast, so like Carrie Fisher and all them, that they were not really that into it anymore. At least that's how I felt. I just saw them and I thought, oh, yeah, they're just there because people expect it.
I really felt that with Harrison Ford.
Yeah, absolutely.
I felt it every time he did the little... I can't do it. It's like the side grin, like the Harrison Ford side grin.
I did really like Maz, I think she was called. The tiny alien lady with the glasses.
Oh, the tiny alien lady with the glasses was brilliant.
She reminded me of, like, the fashion designer out of The Incredibles. I was just watching it and I was thinking, oh my god, that's so cool! I know they have nothing in common, but, well, no, they are both tiny and have gigantic glasses. That's the reason I like both of them, basically.
She's a very strong character.
Yeah, Lupita Nyong'o, right?
She played her!
Yeah!
No way!
Yeah! That is Lupita!
Oh my god, I can't believe that's Lupita Nyong'o. I have a feeling that they were going to go for the Golden Trio again. Just with, what's his name? Oscar Isaac. I think Oscar Isaac is going to be the new Han Solo.
Sorry.
Oscar Isaac, by the way, going back to the actors, did a really good job. I really liked him. Good job, Oscar Isaac!
One of the things that I really did miss, basically, was the interaction between Rey and Poe. Like, I felt Finn and Rey did interact, and Finn and Poe did interact, but Poe and Rey did, like, they saw each other once or something, that was it. Also, just another thing, the whole fact that Rey and Leia don't actually talk to each other that much. Rey is basically the main character of the new film, and Leia is the most important female character of the first trilogy, and I'm like, couldn't they have just like made them interact a slightly bit more? Just a tiny bit.
I think another thing to add to that annoyed me was the fact that this is like, I don't know how many years into the future, and Leia is still a general. She is like not changed a bit. Literally, she had the same hairstyle and the same outfit. And what Carrie Fisher herself described as a fashionable gas station attendant. And a hairstyle at one point that looked like a baboon's ass, which I cannot disagree with. She should have been the leading force because she holds a lot of political power. And in this film, she still holds a lot of political power. She's basically just gotten older. Like, there is
but that's with all the old characters. They've all just gotten older.
Yeah,
Come on,
nothing
Han
has
Solo
changed.
is still a smuggler.
Nothing has changed. He is still a smuggler and somehow balancing smuggler life with his, you know, like, kid who has run off and become the new Darth Vader.
The new bad guy, Kylo Ren or something?
Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren. He was so
He
hilarious.
has serious anger management issues that,
he is like an adolescent. It's like so weird. Like, how can you make the main villain of the next couple of movies like basically a 15-year-old guy? It did add some humor to the whole thing, like the stormtroopers slowly backing away. I have to agree that was very funny, but just the fact that that is the villain they're going with. His big inspiration is Darth Vader. While in the end of the first trilogy, Darth Vader is basically saying, "No, Luke, you were right about me. I'm not that bad after all. My heart is good." And the whole point about Darth Vader is completely wiped away in this movie. They are basically going with Darth Vader is the inspiration for bad people.
But it might make sense in the fact that Darth Vader kind of had the same struggle. And Luke Skywalker technically had the same struggle. Well, we didn't even get to see if Mark Hamill wanted to be there or not because he didn't say anything. His character was so developed. It was incredible. We see... Should we talk about Mark Hamill's 5-second appearance?
I am going to say it was terrible. The editing was terrible for that part. Like, the whole staring at each other, nothing happening, was just, it took too long.
As we were watching the scene, we were imagining, like, what it would look like without the music, which would basically be, like, deadpan awkward.
Can we just go to the spoilers?
The spoilers. So Kylo Ren kills his dad, which kind of, for me, came out of the blue. I felt that he was... I mean, I like the way that they played with the scene and you're supposed to think it's gonna go one way, but then you're supposed to be like, whoa, it went the other way.
The moment that lightsaber...
They tried.
No, they failed.
They failed? I said they tried.
They failed.
Okay.
The moment the lightsaber came out, I just knew Han Solo was going to die. Also, the whole, like, fact that there's, like, this big chasm beneath them kind of gave it away. That is sort of very similar to the whole Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker Walker confrontation with the chopped off hand stuff.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
But I don't really think it was that necessary. And I don't think that I also don't feel like I got to know Kylo Ren enough for it to really bother me. I mean, I do like Han Solo, don't get me wrong. But it was just so obviously for an emotional kind of kick, and it didn't really affect me in that way because it was kind of really over dramatic. One thing that was actually kind of off-putting. To begin with, it was alright, but the constant references to the previous films kind of got on my nerves. I don't know if you had the same thing.
Well, because I am not as obsessed with Star Wars as you are, and I've basically only seen the original trilogy once, I'm sort of in the dark.
That reminds me of, they took on, I feel, quite a, like, nostalgic perspective in the film itself.
Oh, absolutely, it was so nostalgic, and that kind of did bug me. The whole constant looking back, where the previous movies, like the original trilogy, they were constantly looking forward and trying to solve things. In this, they were mostly looking back and looking back at what was.
It was
past,
solving previous.
They weren't going forward as much as they did in the previous Star Wars film.
It's just literally like it turned into a film of references, almost, which was fine to begin with, but it kind of gets a little too repetitive throughout the film, I feel like. And it was a little too excited about itself. It was like a film that was like, no, look, we're here, we're in Star Wars, oh my god, it's here, like, it's awesome, Millennium Falcon, Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, yeah, C-3PO, everything is all back in the same place, and
R2-D2 didn't actually do anything. Woo!
Yeah. A lot of people have been saying that they just did the same thing that they did in the old films. They just made it bigger and, like, bolder with more CGI. And with more explosives and things going on in the frame and more elaboration. I really liked how the film begun, and I thought it was very interesting, the world that they kind of set up with Rey having rations, and the fact that she was hunting out things in exchange to ration.
The whole idea of once again starting on a desert planet, to me, is once again like the whole throwback to the originals.
This film felt to me way more earthy, and there was more like realism in it, in the sense that it was more like this earthy, like really
down
earthy.
To earth.
Yeah, literally, because I think they shot a lot of the scenes obviously in green spaces, and you have the final scene with Mark Hamill in it, which was on an island but it was still green, and there was sea, and there were like kind of human landscapes that you recognize. With the old films, it was very much, you're aware that you're in a different galaxy and in a different, it's a different universe. But with this, I don't know why with this film I kind of felt a closer relationship to it, like it was expanded. There was a similar moment actually in New Hope, I remember, where Luke basically the scene after he gets told by his uncle to basically lay off and just leave this whole business with the droids alone, and Luke walks out of like the igloo thing. He goes outside, and there is this scene which I used to love as a kid, and I still do because I have a nostalgic attachment to it, where he just looks at the horizon, and you hear this really soft dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun,
Can
dun,
I just go with the whole thing with Luke in this movie is he's standing there looking out at the horizon.
Yeah, he stares a lot. Luke is a very pensive man with a beard. Should we talk about the fact that pretty much the entire film was just a rip-off of A New Hope?
That's something you can mostly talk about because it's been like years since I've seen A New Hope.
Well, what about, okay, so the moments that were the same, so you have
Cantina scene.
Yeah, and you had the exact same, you could probably analyse that sequence exactly the same way and compare it to A New Hope and the same scene. Because you had the band players, you even had, in the extras, similar conversations happening with the characters. Oh, did you see Jabba? With his sex slave?
The X-Wing fights above the new headquarters, right? Mm-hmm. This is basically the same as the whole going to the exhaust port thing of the Death Star. And
oh, yeah.
I'm like, it looked so exactly the same.
Literally the whole hype with this new Death Star is that it can destroy planets quicker this time.
And once again they used like one of the parts of the whole planet thing to blow it up.
Yeah.
Only this time they don't do it completely from the outside, they also do it from the inside. The two most important characters in this new franchise are Rey and Kylo Ren, basically. And Kylo Ren is already one of the children. I wouldn't be surprised if Rey was also one of the children.
Yeah, she's probably going to discover in the next
She's
film.
Probably Luke's kid.
Or Kylo Ren's sister.
No, because that means that Leia would have recognized her. If they're going with the whole, the new guys are the kids of the old ones, as they've been doing throughout the whole trilogy, basically, I wouldn't be surprised if Finn was Lando's kid, and Rey was Luke's kid, and Poe, yeah, Poe is just Poe. He's just Poe. Poe is Poe.
Poe is Poe. I heard this theory that all of the stormtroopers were basically a clone of one man, and I just thought, well, if that kind of like is completely wrong, if Rey is a stormtrooper who managed to get away, unless all the others... No, because...
Finn is the stormtrooper.
Sorry, yeah, Finn, not Rey. Oh god, again with these nautical names.
You were going on about the whole cloning thing with the stormtroopers.
Yeah, that wouldn't have worked because...
No, but that isn't true. Literally, the people in the new Death Star were saying, like, that they raised them from infancy.
Yeah, exactly.
So they probably aren't clones then?
Well, you can raise someone from infancy who is a clone.
Unless they have gone really sci-fi and that they somehow are able to, like, have, like, embryos growing somewhere outside of a human body.
Well, they're not clones, and we know that because it was already... It's highly unlikely that they're clones and that they went with that for the film.
Is there anything you want to add to the whole... Are you just...
Oscar Isaac. I like you a lot.
He's too old for you.
I don't care. Han Solo's too old for me. Thank you.
So that was our ideas about Star Wars, and I hope you enjoyed this amazing video. It's our first try in ever doing anything.
I hated it. Absolutely hated it.
She hopes you hated it. I hope you liked it. Just because I like it when people like my stuff. Our stuff, in this case.
Quickly to tag on to the end. In the comments, write down which country you think Iris is from. And if you like, you can try and guess where I'm from, because I'm not from this country.
Yeah, but your accent is English.
I have no accent, so you have fun.